Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of networking events, but hear me out. I always end up going to events where 90% of the attendees happen to be men from the tech space. Now, me, as a mom of a preschooler, freelancing and trying to stabilize my income while getting into that work routine, I just can't seem to relate to all of these people. It's very simple. I don't want how to run your business advice from someone who hasn't walked my path. Because you and I are different, and the path that we take are different, and the way in which we are hustling is different as well. So I just can't relate. But last week on Women's Day, I happened to attend a networking event, and girl, I was so right. It was a women-only social club called Singapenne, and what better chance does one get to meet fellow women who walked the walk and made it big. I've literally taken down 10 things from the panel discussion, and I wanted to share it with you today in this video. In business, not all publicity is positive, but negative publicity still gets attention to you and your brand. The key is to stay calm, learn to spin the narrative, and look at it as an opportunity to connect with your audience. This is so relatable to me because as a social media manager, oftentimes my clients ask me to delete negative comments. It does give you a sigh of mental relief at the moment, but think about it this way. Let's say somebody has commented, she is fake, she does not use the product for herself, the plus size, they always run out of stock, and their customer service is bad. Instead of deleting these type of comments, try and see if you can sort this in public. Explain them how the plus size are your best sellers and how they always run out of stock, and how you take pre-orders to support your customers. Instead of looking at it negatively and worrying about how it would damage your reputation, try to process it and see if it becomes an opportunity for you to make things right and to let your audience know your side of the story. If there are personal attacks, 100% go ahead and delete those comments because they don't deserve to be there in the first place. Trust your instincts. Building your business welcomes a lot of advice from everyone. People will always tell you what to do, what not to do, what worked for them, and what they think you should do. While some of this is great, not all of this is meant for you. While data and the advisors play an important role in decision making, your instincts often knows what's best for you. Your gut feeling is more powerful than you think it is. You will never have it all figured out at the beginning, and that's okay. But even in that chaos, try and find your voice. Give space to your own thoughts. Say them out loud and see if that sounds right to you. Many successful business owners credit their success to their intuition, even when others doubt their decision. So next time when you're overwhelmed with all those options, just pause for a moment and check in with yourself. This gut feeling can actually set you apart, and it can make you take that decision, and ultimately it can lead you to success. Personal touch matters. When you build a business, you start small. You literally get involved into everything right from the start. The designing, the packaging, the customer service, all of that. When the business grows and you bring in more people to run your business, the first thing that you lose is that personal touch. In a world full of mass production and automation, authenticity easily stands out. Being authentic is always a challenge because you always want to be perceived as someone powerful, someone confident and resilient. If you think exposing yourself too much is going to affect your brand, you need to think again. This advice comes from a business owner who comes from a prominent silk house family. She went ahead and created her identity by starting something small. She took a traditional silk saree with all the handcrafted element and made them modern for the new age brides. She created a timeless yet contemporary design. She created a timeless and contemporary appeal and made her brand authentic and personal. This personal touch is what made her brand memorable. Now her business has expanded multifold. First thing that you'll notice about Palam Silks is the warm, friendly people who will always be there to help you choose the best silk saree for your occasion. And that is a win for me personally. Diversify your income. When your small business starts stabilizing, you get that natural urge to put all your money back into your business. because money makes money, right? But this is the biggest risk you can take as an entrepreneur. Have you heard that saying, don't put all the eggs into the same basket? This is the primary reason why your favorite creators don't just rely on a single stream of income. I see a lot of business owners who have successfully built their brand are now getting into coaching and consulting, which means they are diversifying their income streams. Having multiple revenue streams, either through side hustles or a pet project or through a collaboration, always gives you that safety net. And having a safety net encourages you to take more risks in your business. Your circle shapes your success. You are the average of the 5 people you spend most of your time with. As we grow older, our friend circle naturally becomes smaller. People get busy, life happens, and that is how it is. But if you want to grow, you have to be intentional about who you spend your time with. Surround yourself with people who have achieved more than you. This is an excellent motivator for you to do more and match the vibe of the group that you hang out with. The goal here is not to compete with others, but to challenge yourself into becoming better. And that's exactly why the networking event like the one I attended exists in the first place. We just didn't go there to exchange business cards and connect with each other on Instagram and LinkedIn. The whole point was to learn, connect, and to put yourself with a room full of people where growth is inevitable. If you can't find a way to do this, you can look for mentorships, mastermind programs, and you can also connect with industry leaders through social media. This is your best chance to set yourself up for growth. Learn and network actively. This one is the hardest for me. I'm a jolly person, but everything about me changed after this pandemic. I cannot mix and network like how I used to, not even on the internet. It's like I've become an introvert all of a sudden. None of the people who know me watching this are gonna believe this, but it is what it is. And when it comes to entrepreneurship, the journey cannot be solo. You need allies, competition, and inspiration. One of the main stonewalls of networking could be the fact that you fear rejection. What if the person who I approach thinks I'm not good enough for them to mingle? This rarely happens because successful entrepreneurs, they always know the value of connection. And you just have to let go of the fear that is holding you back. And rarely, when someone is not responding well to your approach, just go ahead and find a different person from the room. Attending networking events, learning from others, and asking for help are essentials when it comes to running a business. The more you engage with others, more opportunities come your way. Detach from validation. Waiting for validation is a trap. For the longest time, I was waiting and waiting for someone to approve my idea, waiting for a reassurance before I move in. I kept doing this until I called myself out of this bad behavior. Expecting validation from others is only going to hold you back or delay whatever it is that you were about to do. Let me tell you how this works. You think you need validation to feel confident about the decision that you are about to make. But in reality, you are just handing over control of your decision to somebody else who either does not care or does not understand the situation well like how you do. This can affect you mentally on a long run. Not everyone will understand why you do what you do, and that's okay. Instead of seeking constant validation, try to accept and celebrate the progress you're making. Whether it is a small win or a lesson learned, or even for the matter of fact, if you showed up today, it still matters with or without anybody else's validation. Business is not your identity. I see so many entrepreneurs, including myself, do this mistake. We tie our entire self-worth to our business. If things go well, we feel like we are on top of the world. But if things fail, we start questioning ourselves if we are even good for this. Okay, so how do you introduce yourself to someone when you meet them? Hi, I'm Reva. I do social media for people and brand. Come on, really? Why didn't I just say, hi, I'm Reva. I'm a jolly person. I am someone who's very honest. Why didn't I introduce myself like that? The answer, I tie my entire self-worth and identity to my business and the work that I do. Your business is something that you run, and it is not something you are. Yes, work hard, give it your best, but also remember to live disconnected from it. Don't make your business your whole identity to a point where one bad day at work makes you feel like a personal failure. This is what leads to burnout in many cases. So take a step back and find things that interests you outside of your work. Your business is supposed to support your life and not take over it. Be kind to yourself. It's 2025 and we've seen the way hustle culture exploded on the internet, especially since the pandemic. Hustling is overly glorified. Hustling is productivity, it is taking control of your life. Hustling is this, hustling is that. But did you also know burnout is equally glorified? Working hard is necessary for you to achieve your goals and dreams. But on this path towards growth, nobody is going to tell you to rest. Nobody is going to tell you to recharge. If you don't be kind to yourself, your mind and body is automatically going to reset. And mind you, this is not your body resting, but this is your body resisting. If you're constantly running empty, your business will suffer. So give yourself permission to take rest, recharge, and reset. You can't pour from an empty cup, so always treat yourself well. Challenge your assumption. Your mind can be your biggest asset or your biggest limitation. And most of the time, we don't even realize how much we are holding ourselves back. The biggest challenge that you will face is the preconceived notion whether or not you have it in you to do it. If you never challenge these assumptions, you will be stuck in the same place. A lot of the decisions that we make, what we think we are capable, are purely based on the things that we've been told and the things that we assume to be true. But the most successful entrepreneurs are those who stay curious, who always questions what they know, and who are open to new perspectives. The most successful entrepreneurs are those who always stays curious, are more open to new perspectives, and they are someone who questions what they know. So the next time when you find yourself saying, this does not work for me, I can't do that because I'm bad at it, pause for one moment and ask yourself, is this really true, or is this something that I assumed, or is this something that I believe to be true? And these were some of the biggest takeaway from the event. And now you know what women in business really know. I hope this video gave you a fresh perspective. If it did, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'm Reva. I make videos about entrepreneurship, social media, and just figuring out this whole online business thing. If that sounds like something you're into, then subscribe to this channel and stick around. I will see you in my next video.